Hello and welcome back, everyone. This is the second part of our series on crafting your stories for results. And I am so glad you're here today. I'm Lynn Sanders of Difference Makers Media. And if you missed the first part of our story series, I recommend going back and listening to the first part, which is why your story matters. It's the foundation for your storytelling. Today, we're going to be delving into the topic of what to do. What you need to know to craft your story for results. Now, there's some very important elements here. Every good writer knows that a story needs a strong beginning, middle, and ending. And as a strategic story writer for yourself, you want to include a beginning that has a problem that needs to be solved. The middle is the solution you provide, and the ending are the benefits that your solution ends up giving your clients. So that's beginning, middle, ending, problem, solution, and benefits. Now that sounds pretty logical, doesn't it? But many business owners and even nonprofit leaders make the mistake when they tell the story by just stating facts. And honestly, people don't need to know a lot of credentials. For instance, do you care that I won a national award for a patient safety video? Perhaps. But will that solve your problem? So when you are reaching out to a prospect, you want to think in terms of the station that a prospect would be listening to. That's called WIIFM. What's in it for me? I love that. WIIFM. What's in it for me? You want to really step into the shoes of your prospect and think, what problem are you solving for them? In fact, that question is part of the strategic client attraction process, step number 2, which is identify. So if you can grab a piece of paper and a pen, I want you to take some notes now. Identify means you need to identify with what makes you and your perfect customer tick. What's the same about both of you? What gets you up in the morning excited? What are your common interests? And what are your common problems? Now, before you finish creating your story, I want to give you 4 keys that you're going to use to incorporate within your beginning, middle, and ending. This is really, really special. The first key is you want to think about what personal problem that you faced that identifies with your client's or prospect's problem. So that's step 1. Identify the problem you faced. Number 2, why do you care so much about solving this problem? 3, what makes you uniquely qualified to solve the problem? And 4, what's the solution you provide to your perfect client? I want to repeat those 4 elements one more time because it's so important. 1, identify the problem you faced that your client will relate to. Why do you care? Number 2. 3, what makes you uniquely qualified to solve that problem? And 4, what is the solution you provide that will give benefits? Now, this is going to require you to do a deep dive into your soul. You're going to really need to reflect on your life. What problems have you faced that your clients also face? And you have to be willing to open up and be vulnerable. Share the good, bad, and ugly about your story. Because when you do that, your prospect will be able to bond with you and connect with you at a deep level. Do you realize that most people make decisions based on their heart rather than their head? So ultimately, they are going to make a decision based on the connection that they feel with you. Let me illustrate by sharing my story and how it connects with my perfect clients. And my perfect clients are difference makers, probably people just like you who happen to be tuning in, people who are cause-oriented and conscious that they want to make a positive impact in the world, whether they're an entrepreneur, small business owner, or a nonprofit leader. Do you realize that 70% of small business owners in 10 years fail? And about 30% of nonprofits also fail doing their job. Why is that? One of the major reasons is a lack of visibility, and that ultimately the people they need to serve don't know about them. They don't know about their value. I can relate to that. When I was 11 years old, I asked my mother if I could have a bat mitzvah, and she just very casually said, You really don't need to. It's just more important for boys. She didn't realize the impact of those words. To me, it meant I wasn't as important as my brothers. I wasn't good enough. I wasn't valued. I know she didn't mean it, but it's how I felt. So, to compensate for those feelings, I became an overachiever, both at school and at work. I helped numerous clients achieve six-figure donations, double their memberships, attract more revenue through writing, through telling their stories on videos, creating video interviews, and also doing social media marketing and publicity. When I was age 48, about a year before my younger son was going to have a bar mitzvah, I decided it was time for me to claim my value to myself. I wanted to have a bat mitzvah. That is basically a Jewish tradition that signifies a passage from being a child to being an adult and taking on the responsibilities of doing good deeds in the world, of healing the world. Now, of course, at age 48, I was logically an adult already, but I wanted to claim that value in the Jewish tradition, and I had that service with a group of other women, and it felt wonderful. Why? Because I was telling myself that yes, I was good enough. And since that time, I've written and published a couple books, and I've helped numerous other clients along the way. I'd like to help you too without any obligation on your part. If you go to my website, differencemakersmedia.com, you can sign up for a free 7-step strategic story guide. It will give you nuggets of wisdom I've learned over the years to help bring your story to life. Because what good is it if you keep your story to yourself? You need to share it with the world. Tomorrow, I'll be giving you more tips on how to make your story attract more results. Does that make sense to you? I hope you've learned something today in the importance of being able to craft your story for results. We all make a difference, remember that. Every story matters. It's just up to you to share that story with the world. Thank you so much for listening today. I look forward to connecting with you again tomorrow. Until then, here's your homework. I want you to think of 3 sentences: a problem that you're solving, a solution you're providing, and the benefits. And post those 3 sentences on my page, either my personal page or connect with me at Difference Makers Media on Facebook. I'd love to hear your story. Thanks again and have a great day. Bye-bye.